Hey guys, Patrick here, and today I actually managed to record my entire workout and not just like a few exercises here and there. So I thought it would be fun if I actually went over and talked about my training routine and my sort of philosophy behind it or my methodology, and just kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm thinking about when I perform these exercises and why I choose the exercises that I do. Now, today was a shoulders, legs, and triceps day. And I tried to do 10 sets of every exercise, or not every exercise, but for every muscle group on that day. So 10 sets of total shoulders, 10 sets of legs, and 10 sets of triceps, right? So the first workout that we have here are one of my absolute favorite exercises ever, and that is an upright row. Now, it's not just any upright row, it's specifically an upright row with an easy curl bar. And the reason why that is just the way that the bar bends and the way it conforms to my hands is like perfectly how I want to hold that weight for when I am performing these exercises, as opposed to just like, like dumbbells or a barbell. Like, neither of those feel as natural in my hands as an easy bar, so I specifically use that. And it is a compound movement, so I am doing it for 6 to 8 reps, because that is the rep scheme I like to use for all compound movements, because I like to go a little bit heavier and go lower reps, right? And then for isolations, I do the opposite. I go like lighter and I raise the reps, right? So we're doing upright rows because I really like working out my traps. I have said this a couple of times before, guys, but I really do think traps are an underrated muscle group to most people, because a lot of people want that sort of like V taper, right? That V shape. Well, I think that, along with that V taper, you're going to want those traps, because it literally makes your back look like a fucking shield, right? And I just generally think it makes you look stronger and more aesthetically pleasing in general. So that is why we are doing upright rows. Moving on to next, we have the belt squat. Now, how I typically do exercises, I go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to give certain muscle groups a bit more rest. So that way, it allows them to recover more and you can lift more weight on your next exercise. So up next, we got a belt squat. And as you can see, I'm going really light on this. And that is because I have never done a belt squat before. This is my first time ever doing it. And I really like it, and I am going to continue to do those moving forward. It takes all of the pressure off of your lower back and purely puts it on the legs, and I really like that. And like I said, you'll notice I'm going lower weight here. It's not just out of caution. I do have a shit squat. And my legs aren't the strongest. But also, I take a very cautious approach to training, because I would rather go too light and basically have sort of junk volume than assume that I'm stronger than I actually am on a movement that I've never tried before, and then bust my fucking legs up and be unable to train for a long period of time. So that was the belt squat. Next up, we have the dumbbell overhead press. Now, you'll notice I do these seated. I pretty much do all of my overhead press work seated nowadays, because I just want to take my lower back out of the equation as much as possible, just because I find that it helps me to, lift more weight. And the goal here is to build shoulders, not lower body. So, you know what I mean? So anything that I can do to build up my shoulders more, I will do. And I have recently actually gotten stronger on this movement, even without really trying much. So I can't really speak to why that is, but, I've just been progressively overloading very slowly, and right now I'm up to 80 pounds. So that's pretty good, in my opinion. Next up, we have 6-ways. Now, I recently just started doing these last week, and I love them a lot, because I pretty much like any exercise that will increase the tension without necessarily increasing weight, because it minimizes injury. And I just really like this exercise. Here I'm doing it with 10 pounds, and I think it's just a really good way to fill out the shoulders. And I've been liking it, and I've been seeing good results with it so far. Not much I can really say about it, just because, again, this is almost an entirely new movement to me. But yeah, so we'll see how this goes. We'll see if this stays in the rotation, but as things look right now, it's looking like it is going to stay. Next up, we have lying leg curls. Now, I love lying leg curls just because of the stretch you get at the bottom when doing them, and I really just need to build up my hamstrings more, so these are a perfect exercise for where I'm at right now, attacking my weak points and trying to make them into strong points. Next up, we have the leg extension. These I've been doing for years. In fact, I would probably say that these are my number one favorite leg exercise. I did these even when I hated training legs. there was a good period of time where this was the only leg exercise I would do because it was the only one I liked and I knew I had to train legs. So, that's pretty much all there is to say about this exercise. Is just I really like it a lot. I think it should be a staple in most leg training programs, and I really like it. Next, we have the single arm tricep press down. Again, this is something that I have started doing recently, but I already like it a lot. I've been seeing amazing growth in my triceps from doing them, and it helps to correct muscle imbalances, so it's just a good thing to toss into the program. However, I will say that this isn't the main tricep movement for the day. I had to, move things around just because somebody else was using the cable station that I needed to use for my main tricep movement, which we are moving on to now, which is the cable French press. Now, these are something that I've been doing for about half a year now, and I love this exercise. I loved it way more than I thought I would. Just the amount of squeeze and stretch I feel in the triceps just throughout the whole range of motion. It's just a really good exercise and really helped to develop that long head. And it's just one of my favorite tricep exercises now just because I like the way it feels. It's put a lot of mass on my arms. And it's just a good one. And lastly, we have the tricep extension machine. Now, these I haven't really been doing much of, but I started doing these probably about 4 weeks ago. And again, whenever I do these afterwards, my triceps feel destroyed. And that's a pretty good sign to me that I need to keep it in my rotation. You know what I mean? I'm up to 110 pounds on it right now. And I don't really feel it during. I more or less feel it after, but right after, I'm like, oh my God, my triceps are so sore. And that's, again, just a sign that I'm like, okay, this is something I need to work and improve on. And that pretty much wraps up the entire workout, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think about it down in the comments. I'm Patrick, and I'll see you next time.